Boom! Wednesday. Comic books. Comics should smell good. In Zanadu Comics here in Seattle. Casey, Will, Morgan, and the Video Monkey, always behind the scenes. That's right.
You can't see him waving, but he
No,
is.
you can't see him. You can probably smell him, but you can't see him. Anyway, it is another glorious Wednesday, as per usual. And what will we bring you but the best comic books that came out this week, because we don't read bad comic books.
Well, I do.
But Morgan does.
It's
like,
an
that
ironic
side
thing, you know?
the thing, I don't know, whatever. That's down there. But we'll let him start to make him feel better, you know.
Sure, yeah. Why don't we start off with a comic that is bad, not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Huh?
We got Robin, Son of Batman, #4 here. This is one of like 3 DC books that I even remotely care about these days. Mainly because of the creative powerhouse that is writer-artist Pat Gleason. Let loose from the reins of Pete Tomasi, who is a great writer in his own respect, but oh my god, Pat Gleason is making this book, like, so much better than it could have been with, like, a writer saddled up with him. And in this issue, Robin and his new partner, Nobody, the second Nobody, daughter of the first Nobody, who he totally murdered on a boat. It was a huge thing. His dad got super pissed at him. Grounded him for like a month. But he's facing off against Nobody's old partner, Deathstroke, because nothing sells comics better than Deathstroke.
Dude, when did he turn into Wolverine? Like when did that happen?
I don't know, 1994?
Something like that.
That's not true, dude. Nobody bought that. We have like a friggin' long box of them.
True. Well, they tried to make people buy it.
And Mike Zeck was awesome.
Yeah, either way, Deathstroke looks better than he has in, like, years here. Like, you can say what you will about, like, Tony Daniel, but Pat Gleason is where it's at. So much thicker.
Thick. It's all about the thickness. You know what? I'm gonna let Will continue the thickness.
Because there's a book that's coming up. That
Yeah, right. That we're just not going to go into right now.
Right.
We're just not going to run it like that.
We're going to keep it clean and get a wholesome
That's right.
Captain America
That's right.
here. You know, comics should smell good, and this one has been fermenting for 7+ years like a fine wine. And it's finally out. 7 years, something like that.
They didn't know 2008. You were exactly
it was
right.
teased way back then.
Exactly
I'm
right.
Good math. But this is the next big evolution of the Color series. This is Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale getting together for Captain America White. It is an untold tale of Captain America, Bucky, the Howling Commandos, and Nick Fury. Emotional, awesome, and Tim Sale doing art, including the old school Avengers and World War II Cap and the Howling Commandos. Beautiful.
Does include #0 as well, which did come out 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
And that's the very small part in the beginning, and then there's a lot of cool stuff in the back too. But really, no reason as to why it's late. Whatever. And then first book for me. Big release from Kate Beaton, Hark, a Vagrant, second collection. You may know her from her very long list of accolades on such things as New York Times, USA Today, NPR. All sorts of people say that Kate Beaton is very funny, and you know what? They're right. This is called Step Aside Pops, a Hark, a Vagrant collection. It's really, really quite humorous. You know, you probably have read a bunch of this stuff online. You know you want it in book form so that you can push it on other people. And it also smells very elegant. Yes. Very refined humor, if you will. Yes. But not bad. $20, hardcover. K. Beaton.
Alright, and something that's refined in a sense, but only in the sense that it takes so much skill to make something this awesome, because it is just wild. Otherwise, this is Tokyo Ghost from Rick Remender, Sean Murphy, and Matt Hollingsworth. This is the story of a tech-obsessed future, somewhat like our own. There might be some social commentary going on in here, where the world is addicted to technology, and the gangsters run the tech companies, and they hire enforcers such as Led Dent and Debbie Decay to sort of enforce their tech rule. And in this comic, they're sent on their motorcycle, which may or may not be named Zeus's dick, which we can say that here, right? Totally.
Zeus's dick.
Yeah.
We said it.
Wait till you see what's coming up.
But they're sent to the last tech-free zone in the whole world, which is the island garden nation of Japan. Yeah, so you got lots of awesome Sean Murphy action here. Everything he likes to draw. You know, you got motorcycles, you got cars, you got faces getting grinded against walls on a motorcycle.
You have those cars racing, not just driving, racing.
This is just, it's a tour de force, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and you can go straight in from that awesome collection of Chrononauts that you picked up last week to this. More Sean Murphy.
That's right. And speaking of collections of artists that are just absolutely amazing, the third issue of Brandon Graham and Emma Rios' Island Anthology is here with this glorious cover by Farrell. Glorious. In fact, on the back, more glorious. I was hoping for a Farrell story inside, but what are you going to do, you know? Inside, though, we do have Matt Sheehan and Malachi Ward, who have been contributing to Brandon Graham's various works for a few years, as well as creating their own stuff. Dilraj Mann, Tessa Black, Amy Claire, Kate Craig, Katie Lane, all sorts of really awesome people who you probably haven't heard of, I haven't heard of, but that's why I love this magazine, because it brings you new talent, which is what Image used to do all the time. And I'm very, very excited, though a little bit sad because I was really digging the stories that were in number 2, and we're going to have to wait a little while because it takes kind of long, but that's okay. $8, oversized.
I want you guys to brace yourselves because I have an Image book this week.
Whoa.
Yes, I have something non-Marvel and non-DC this week.
And not Scott Snyder either?
And not Scott
That's
Snyder?
true. I love Beauty. This is the second issue. I love the first issue. It's Jeremy Hahn. This is a future world where sexual transmitted disease gives people instant beauty. It turns drab into gorgeous, beautiful people with a price. And people start pretty much dying from their beauty. And this is about 2 detectives who are trying to figure out what's behind it all. It's weird, it's crazy, it's kind of a little like American Horror Story-esque mixed with True Detective kind of cop show. And I thought it was just really cool and weird and strange and obviously kind of sexy. Multiple covers. This is not Namor. This is
Are you sure?
one of the lead characters or victims.
That looks like
it. And it does look kind of like him. He's a little more workout. But multiple covers here. Really beautiful, weird social commentary and a great mystery.
Well, we're going to jump over to DC Comics here. Surprise, I'm talking about another book from them. This is actually the week when all the DC comics that I pay attention to come out. It's weird how that works. But this is the 4th issue of Constantine, the Hellblazer.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, isn't it? That's Riley Rossmo on the cover. He's taking a break from interiors because, you know, he's got that whole Rasputin book going on. Create your own stuff sometimes just has to take priority. But they have an amazing art team jumping on here, joining the usual writers, with Vanessa Del Rey and Chris Visions both doing different time periods in Constantine's life. You've got his mucous membrane days, back when he was part of a punk band.
Yeah.
And then you've got the modern day where he's like digging through old record bins and finds his own records, and he's just like, why is this in the rubbish bin? What the hell?
Because it sounded like crap.
And he's also super drunk. It's amazing.
There you go. That sounds like a Hellblazer comic.
Right?
So it was just 9/11. You know, it's been 14 years?
Yeah, just about.
Wow, it's been about 14 years of the New World Order for the government. And you might not have known, but right after during 9/11, George Bush and all of his power created the Terror Assaulters. And from that little known fact, Benjamin Marra has created One Man War on Terror, Terror Assaulter. That's right, this one man, always smoking a cigarette, usually carrying a very large gun or a very large sword, saves justice in many faces and forms across America and the world. He does other things that I can't really talk about in the video, you know.
Just think thickness.
Thickness, indeed. Thickness, but yeah, Ben Marra brought you such amazing classics as Blades and Lasers, as
Gangster Rap
Posse,
Lincoln Washington
Free Man,
Night Business.
Night Business, yeah. If you don't know who Benjamin Marra is, I don't know if you can see that picture, but that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Man is pretty amazing. $15, published locally by Fanta. You need this in your life. Trust me, you really do.
Your innocence will be shattered.
Yes, thank you, Will. Beautiful.
I opened up on a one page and
Will is he's no longer naive to the ways.
I was about to do a Britney Spears quote. I'm not doing this. But anyway, let me rush to another musical diva, Black Canary. Okay, I just love it. It's a rock and roll kung fu road trip with Black Canary. Who would have ever thought, like, You know, Brendan Fletcher and Annie Wu says, let's just put her in a crazy band and put her on the one from Demon People and all kinds of cool stuff. So this is fun. This week is a guest artist. Make sure I say this right. Pia Guerra, correct?
Yes.
Of
The
why-
highly
of
amazing.
Why the Last
Yes.
Man. So this is a backstory of the band's former lead singer and her batshit crazy thing and why she's on a plan for revenge. And it's also the young kid band member who's been kidnapped and more of the conspiracy about that. But just a fun, crazy, fun book with Black Canary and a little more of the backstory as we move forward on the crazy Kung Fu road trip.
Alright, and my last book for you here has absolutely nothing to do with Kung Fu, but a lot to do with road trips.
And murder.
Really,
And
really
murder.
bad
Road trips and murder.
Come on, the murder doesn't happen until the very end.
Of the first issue!
It's not technically murder if it's coyotes.
Well, I guess not.
But this here is one of our favorite books here, No Mercy, from Image by Alex DeCampi, Carla Speed McNeil, and Jen Manley Lee. This is a tale of a group of soon-to-be college students who decide, to go on one last trip over the summer to just help out the world, do that whole voluntourist thing.
It's never a good idea.
Yeah, no, especially not now. No good deed goes unpunished,
It's
as they
true.
say. And their bus kinda ends up falling off a cliff. And then their phones die, and they run out of food, and the coyotes come, and their fire goes out, and it's just all bad. Like, this is just horrible. Alex DeCampi is so good at making terrible things happen to people who, quite frankly, are pretty terrible themselves.
Right.
Although, the one guy who you hate the most, he doesn't get killed. No, of course not. It never happens. You're gonna have to wait till the second trade for that.
That's right.
But also, fun fact, because Alex DeCampi loves us, and we love Alex DeCampi, our copies of this first trade edition have awesome book plates signed by the art team, and the writer, and the colors. She does?
Colors, yeah, everybody.
Everyone.
The whole
Everyone
book.
signed it.
Everybody
It's
did it.
awesome.
It's very cool.
Just for you.
Alex was very nice and sent us these book plates. And so if you don't go to a store that is as cool as us and you don't have a book plate, well, you just have to come here and get it, I guess.
True.
And something else you will only find here. It's been a little while. 5th issue of Guttertown, finally. Dimi Macheras and me, Casey Silver, returning to our flagship title of 80% Studios. And this issue starts the second half of our first arc, Beat Fighter, and it follows our main character, Davron, who has been beaten and humiliated, and in the shadows, a new path unveils itself. But is he strong enough to tread that path, or will he merely be another casualty of the city of Dendrite? You will have to find out in this, the 5th issue of Guttertown. And there's also a really cool map and a very nice ad for the best comic book shop in town.
And the best comic book anthology in town.
And that's right.
I'm definitely wearing the most
Nemesis
stylish shirt.
Enforcer, boom. Shirts are still available for Nemesis Enforcer and for Zanadu, but only if you wear a small and you're a guy. But if you're a girl, there's actually a lot of sizes. So
I'm not going to shamelessly plug anything this week. Comicsblend.com. My final pick, I love Peggy Carter. She is amazing. This is another one-shot in the 50th anniversary of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is by Catherine Eminem and Rich Ellis, who were the team behind Operation Sin earlier this year. And they're back for a long-lost tale of Peggy Carter back in the day with her connection to S.H.I.E.L.D., kind of a little bit of her origins, how it went from the SAS into S.H.I.E.L.D., and Nick Fury and Dum Dum Dugan and Howard Stark and the Avengers and all those cool guys. It's just retro fun with Peggy, one of the coolest women in all of comics. Bam.
the S.H.I.E.L.D. books have been pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they're
Joelle
really
Jones
teams.
did one, and that Daniel Warren Johnston or whatever that guy.
that was
is,
amazing.
really good
that
last
Quake issue
week.
was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
And next week is the 2 Nick Furies.
Nick
So
Fury!
a little sneak preview there.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's about
That's
it.
Yep.
More selfish plug. Dimi and I will be at Rose City in Portland this weekend, Table F12, if anybody is going to the Rose City Con. But if not, come in Wednesday, comics, What else you can do? Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all later.